What's up, guys? Welcome back to Among the Fence. My name is Aaron, and today we're going to be checking out the new album Darkbloom by the band We Came as Romans. Darkbloom is the sixth studio album since the metalcore band formed in 2005, and it's been 5 years since they released their album Cold Like War, which was an absolute beautiful follow-up to their lackluster self-titled album. It's definitely a lot more refined compared to their earlier work for sure, and it definitely hits hard and low when it needs to. This would also be the last record, unfortunately, to feature singer and keyboard player Kyle, who tragically passed away in August of 2018. And the band declared that they would carry on without replacing him, which to me just, it seemed like the right thing to do for sure. I am curious to see how much this does change their sound. It seems like they've been getting a little bit more generic and radio friendly. But that's just judging their newer stuff and their singles that they've been releasing, which I try not to judge an album off of their singles. You know, I mean, it's basically there to get a lot of play and get people excited for the album. So yeah, you can't really judge a book by its cover in that sense. So let's dive into the album now. The album opens up with a title track song, Darkbloom, which has like this suspenseful build-up, sorta. I wanted to hate the robotic vocal bit thing going into the verse, but the more I listened to it, the more it really wasn't that bad. The vocals in the verse are absolutely fantastic. Musically, it's pretty synth and drum forward with woes and stuff, especially in the chorus. The breakdown was pretty sick. I would have really liked it if they didn't use the synth section going back into the final chorus. I feel like it would have been better if they just kept that heavy breakdown energy going into it, but it still worked. Then we have the song Plagued, which comes in with like this huge wall of sound, and the verse is just vocals and drums with a quiet guitar part. I do like that they keep that energy going thanks to the drums. I mean, it's not like it completely dies out and they try and be melodramatic. They definitely keep that energy pumping. The chorus is decent. I mean, it has a good sound, but it's just kind of, it just doesn't really do a whole lot, especially once you get to the post-chorus where the real magic happens. It kind of shows you that it's kind of a dud. The breakdown was also just kind of meh. I do dig the very quiet lute sound sort of thing happening in the breakdown, though. It's really hard to hear. You have to really pay attention to it, but I like that they added that in there. I gotta say, as far as breakdowns go, the outro was definitely a lot better. Then we have the song Black Hole, which has like this clapping beat vocal effect thing in the intro. The drums are very heavy in the verse with a decent vocal performance. The chorus is generic as heck, and the vocal effect at the end of it is just cringe. It sounds like, I don't know, someone's stomping on a tin can or something. Verse 2 is driven by Caleb Shomo, though, and he kind of leaves you wanting more, for sure. He comes back in for the bridge, this time with distorted vocals, but again, it's just so quick. I don't know, I feel like his feature could have been used a lot better. Maybe if he was also on the final chorus or something. I don't know. I feel like it would have been better, especially since the outro was completely ruined by bringing that vocal effect back in. Then we have the song Daggers, which has this really heavy intro that flows into the verse. And I love that they kind of keep you guessing. When the intro comes in heavy, you don't know if it's going to stay like that in the verse or if it's going to drop out for more just drums and vocal stuff. The chorus keeps the aggression going as well, as it really shows its mosh pit inducing qualities. It definitely gets more and more intense. Verse 2 features 0936, and his rap style works extremely well in this song. I was worried that it would fall flat just because of the intensity that the song brought, but his vocal buildup and the lyrics, how they just kind of keep building the aggression. It worked so well. I like that in the song Golden, they're able to pull back on some of the instruments. Like there isn't like this heavy riff or anything, and the drums do more than just set the tempo and keep the time of the song. They actually, I don't know, a lot of times when bands do this, where it's just vocals and drums and some synth stuff, I mean, it's a very basic drum beat, but I feel like they stepped it up a little bit more in this sense. The chorus is really heartfelt and the lyrics are all right in it, but musically it was just really bland. The breakdown was generic and the transition back into the chorus was very predictable, and it's just something we've been hearing for a very long time. And even though I didn't like the drums, it basically just kind of do the same thing throughout the entire song. So when you first hear them, you're like, yeah, this is great. But then after a while, it's like, you become numb to it and you don't really care that much anymore. Then we have the song One More Day, which is a very touching, just slow, sad song. I'm not sure who this is about, but I mean, I have my suspicions. The lyrics are truly heartbreaking in this song, and it shows basically what this album is really about. Then we have the song Double Speak, which has like this weird trap beat, but not really trap beat thing in the intro, with a really weird vocal effect that is kind of, I don't know. At first I heard it and I didn't like it, and then it grew on me to where it's just kind of there. The verse gets a lot better though, with this big old wall of sound transition going into it. I'm not really a fan of the drum beat, but I really love the vocal buildups throughout it, especially going into verse 2. It's got a good flow to it, and the parts that hit hard definitely hit you pretty hard. But the rest of the song, it's just got some weird stuff going in there that it took me a while to really agree with and understand what they were trying to do. It's just a little wonky. Then we have the song The Anchor. It's got a really weird intro verse transition thing. It has a good sound, but at this point it's just too formulaic. Even more so than the other songs in this album, which they all kind of are. It kind of hits Architect's territory in terms of just being really generic. And then we have the song Holding the Embers, which has a shimmering guitar. The lyrics are a little cheesy. The chorus is huge, and it has a good hook and a good metaphor. But I mean, otherwise, again, it's just really formulaic in terms of songwriting and just their sound. It just sounds like We Came as Romans just producing another song. But it does flow really well into the closing track, Promise You. It has like this ticking clock kind of thing, and like showing that time is running out. It has a synth beat that goes along with it. The lyrics in this one are very real. It's about Kyle and just what the band went through with his passing. I feel like literally like the whole band took a part in writing this song, the lyrics for it, and just kind of giving their testimonies and their perspectives about what was going on for them. It's truly touching, and I guarantee you the song is going to make a lot of fans cry. It's an excellent closing track, which kind of sums up what this whole album, and like I said, it's just, this is what it's all about. I enjoyed this song a lot more than I thought I would, which isn't really saying a whole lot because I didn't think I would like it at all. The production is really tight, and some of these songs, they do hit really hard, not even just in terms of the music and intensity, but the lyrical content. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff based around Kyle, and it's definitely tear-jerkers as it's coming from just a place of vulnerability. And sure, the riffs aren't like super technical, but that's not really what We Came as Romans are known for. I mean, they're known for just kind of having a fat, groovy riff. I mean, it's just huge. When you hear their riffs in this song, like this whole album, I mean, they hit. They're gigantic. The vocals are also incredible. I've always loved the distorted vocals from this band. They're probably the best around, and I feel like they're heavily underrated. The main downfall of this album is its generic songwriting and how it doesn't really bring anything new to the table and doesn't really try anything different. It's very formulaic, especially like, I mean, even when the riffs do hit hard, it's basically the same exact riff that you heard from the song just before it. Same with the drums, which is kind of sad because the drums to me are what stood out the absolute most, but it's kind of the same thing you've heard in all their other songs. Some of the synth stuff works out, but all the vocal effect stuff that they try just absolutely ruins the moment in each song that they're in. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in this album, and there's a lot of not really good stuff in this album. So with all that said, I gotta give Darkbloom by We Came as Romans a 5.7 out of 10. But I want to know what you guys think. Honestly, I'm not really a super huge We Came as Romans fan. I do know most of their music, and I'm familiar with all of their albums. I've listened to them many of times. But I would like to know what fans think of this album. So yeah, leave a comment below letting me know what you thought of Darkbloom. Let me know what you'd rate it. And let me know what your favorite song is as well. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like. If you want to help support me and my channel, please consider subscribing and ringing the bell icon. That way you don't miss out on any future stuff, especially if you leave a request for me to review something in the future. And I hope you guys all have a good rest of your day or night whenever you happen to be watching this. And I will talk to you guys next time.
I was trying to make it lying down.